be honest. How many times have you sworn to eat clean, only to end up elbow deep in a bag of chips by 9 p.m.? You promised to do better tomorrow, but then that burger starts calling your name like it's destiny. Don't worry, you're not weak. You're just wired that way. Today, we're diving into the sneaky science of why our brains can't resist junk food, and how billion-dollar companies keep us craving more. So grab a snack, no judgment, and let's uncover the science of why we crave junk food right here on History of Food. Here's the thing, your brain is a total sucker for rewards. Thousands of years ago, that was a survival tool. Finding something sweet, salty, or fatty meant energy. And energy meant you lived another day. Fast forward to now, and your brain hasn't updated its software. It still craves sugar and fat like you're a hunter-gatherer. Even though the closest thing you've hunted lately is the TV remote. When you eat junk food, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. That hit of pleasure teaches your brain that this food equals happiness, and it starts craving more. It's not that you like chips. Your brain remembers how good they felt. And the next time you're stressed, tired, or bored, it whispers, "Hey, remember that bag of chips?" It's not weakness, it's neuroscience. You're basically being blackmailed by your own brain. Here's where things get really sneaky. Food companies know exactly how your brain works, and they exploit it. Scientists in the food industry literally spend millions researching something called the Bliss point. That's the exact combination of sugar, salt, and fat that triggers the maximum pleasure response in your brain, without overwhelming it. It's not too sweet, not too salty, it's just right. This concept was popularized by food scientists like Howard Moskowitz, who helped develop products like Dr. Pepper and Prego pasta sauce. He found that when people taste a food at its bliss point, they keep eating because their brain never gets tired of it. That's why you can eat an entire bag of chips without realizing it. But you can't eat 10 apples in a row. Junk food is literally engineered to be irresistible. You're not just eating it, it's eating you. Okay, so flavor's part of it, but texture plays a sneaky role too. Ever notice how satisfying that crunch is when you bite into chips or fries? That's not random. Studies show that crunchy foods make your brain think they're fresher and more exciting. The sound of crunching even activates pleasure centers in the brain, kind of like ASMR, but edible. Then there's something called mouthfeel, how food feels in your mouth. Perfectly smooth chocolate, bubbly soda, or creamy ice cream gives you a sensory reward before you even taste them. It's pure tactile pleasure. So yeah, your brain's basically at a sensory carnival every time you eat Doritos. Let's talk about sugar, the MVP of cravings. Sugar lights up the same reward pathways in your brain as addictive substances like nicotine and even cocaine. That's not to say candy bars are drugs, but the neurological reaction is eerily similar. When you eat sugar, your dopamine levels spike, giving you that quick rush of happiness. Then, as your blood sugar drops, your mood crashes, and your brain screams for more. It's a cycle of highs and lows that keeps you coming back for just one more bite. And food manufacturers know this. That's why sugar sneaks into places you'd never expect, like pasta sauce, bread, and salad dressing. They don't want it to taste like dessert, they just want your brain to quietly say, more. If sugar is the spark, fat is the flame that keeps the craving burning. Fat gives food that rich, satisfying texture that makes everything taste better, from buttery popcorn to deep-fried anything. When fat and sugar combine, your brain goes into overdrive. It's like a double dopamine discount. Then there's salt, the flavor enhancer that wakes up your taste buds and keeps your mouth watering. Salt doesn't just make things taste good, it amplifies other flavors, making the experience feel more intense. Together, these three, sugar, salt, and fat, are the holy trinity of craving, and you'll find them in almost every junk food ever made. But cravings aren't just biological, they're emotional. Ever notice how you crave junk food when you're stressed or sad? That's your body trying to self-soothe. Eating releases dopamine and serotonin, the same chemicals that help regulate mood. Basically, your brain's saying, Life's hard. Eat pizza. This is why comfort food feels so comforting. It literally reduces the stress hormone cortisol in the short term. The problem? The comfort doesn't last, but the calories do. So when you stress eat a whole tub of ice cream, your brain feels better until your stomach files a complaint later. Here's the kicker. It's not just biology. It's also your surroundings. We live in what scientists call an obesogenic environment. Basically, a world designed to make overeating easy. Junk food is cheap, convenient, and available everywhere, from gas stations to vending machines. Even the packaging and marketing are carefully crafted to trigger cravings. Ever noticed how snack food colors are usually red, yellow, or orange? That's not random. Those colors subconsciously stimulate hunger and excitement. So while you think you're making a choice, you're actually being nudged by decades of psychological design. You're not just fighting your appetite, you're fighting an entire industry built to keep you hungry. Here's something interesting. Junk food cravings aren't the same everywhere. In the US, people crave chips, burgers, and chocolate. In Japan, it's fried noodles and salty snacks. In India, spicy potato chips are the go-to comfort food. This shows that cravings are shaped not just by biology, but by what your culture teaches you to love. Your junk food might be someone else's treat. So the next time you crave something bad, remember, your brain isn't betraying you. It's just following centuries of flavor conditioning. Here's the twist. The same science that makes you crave junk food can also help you control it. Cravings usually last only 10 to 20 minutes. So if you distract yourself or drink water during that window, the urge often fades. Also, eating real nutrient-dense foods can rewire your palate. Over time, your brain learns to associate pleasure with balance instead of instant gratification. And if you still want that cookie, eat it mindfully. Studies show that paying attention to the taste, texture, and smell actually makes you feel more satisfied, so you need less to feel good. You're not fighting your brain, you're retraining it. So, why do we crave junk food? Because our brains are ancient, our emotions are messy, and our environment is engineered to tempt us. But knowing the science gives you power. You can recognize the tricks, pause before the impulse, and maybe, just maybe, choose something better, or at least eat the chips without guilt. Because at the end of the day, food isn't just fuel. It's comfort, chemistry, and culture all rolled into one crispy bite. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution.